All right, so get this. We're going deep into AI and resumes today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You're going to learn how to make your resume stand out,
Okay.
not just to recruiters, but to those AI systems scanning applications
Interesting.
before a human even looks at them.
Wow.
It's like a whole new world out there.
It really is fascinating how that job search process has evolved, huh?
Yeah.
It's not just like writing a good resume anymore. You really got to understand the tech behind it and adapt to it.
It's like a whole new ball game.
You could say that.
Yeah.
But the first rule of the new game is you got to understand your resume as a product now.
Okay, so unpack that for me.
Sure.
Resume as a product.
Think about it like this.
Yeah.
In the age of digital marketplaces, everything's presented as a product.
Right.
When you shop online, you use filters, you use keywords to find what you want, right?
Yeah.
Well, AI recruitment tools work the same way.
Oh, really?
They're searching for specific skills and keywords
to
to match candidates with open positions.
Wow.
So your resume needs to be like packaged and presented in a way that those systems can easily find it.
So it's not just listing your experience, it's about marketing your skills.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that brings us to our second crucial point, keywords.
Okay, I've definitely heard that a lot.
Yeah.
But how do we figure out which keywords to use?
The secret is really analyze those job descriptions.
Okay.
Go beyond just the job titles.
Right.
Dig deeper.
Yeah.
Look for specific software methodologies or skills that the company emphasizes.
Gotcha.
What are the industry buzzwords that they use?
Okay.
For instance, if they repeatedly mention agile development or cloud computing,
Got it.
you'll want to make sure those terms appear naturally in your resume.
Makes sense.
If they apply to your experience, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's almost like learning a new language.
It's the language of AI.
Precisely.
Okay.
And just like learning any new language,
Uh-huh.
it takes practice and attention to detail.
Okay.
Now, imagine you've mastered the language,
Okay.
but you're trying to communicate through a faulty phone line.
Right.
That's what it's like for AI
Yeah, okay.
when your resume formatting is messy.
Oh, so formatting really matters.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Fancy fonts, complex graphics, and unusual layouts
Yeah.
might look good to the human eye,
Sure.
but they can confuse the AI.
Interesting.
These systems rely on a clear, logical structure to get information.
Got it.
So stick to standard fonts,
Right.
use clear headings,
Okay.
and keep consistent date formats.
Gotcha.
Think clean, scannable, and straightforward for both humans and machines.
That's so interesting how something we often overlook can have such a big impact.
Okay, so we've talked about keywords formatting.
Yeah.
But what about the content itself?
Sure.
How do we strike that balance between showcasing hard skills, which AI loves, and those essential soft skills that humans value?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's where things get a little more nuanced.
Okay.
AI is getting better at recognizing soft skills.
Okay.
But it's still crucial to present them in a concrete and measurable way.
Oh, so can you give us some examples?
Sure. Instead of just saying excellent communication skills, try saying something like, led cross-functional team meetings to effectively communicate project updates and ensure alignment on goals.
Gotcha.
This shows your communication skills in a specific context and highlights your leadership, too.
Oh, I see. So it's about showing, not just telling.
Precisely. And that leads us to another important point. Quantifying your achievements.
Okay.
Remember, AI systems love data. So whenever possible, quantify your accomplishments. Include metrics, percentages, concrete results to really showcase the impact of your work.
Makes sense.
Instead of saying increased sales, try saying increased sales by 15% in one quarter.
Got it.
Or even better, increase sales by 15% in one quarter by implementing a new customer outreach strategy.
Wow.
The more specific and data-driven you are, the better.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Numbers paint a clearer picture, right?
Absolutely.
It's like the old saying, show, don't tell, but for the digital age.
Exactly.
Now, while we're on the topic of details,
Sure.
I've always wondered this.
Okay.
Does the file format of your resume really matter that much?
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Really?
How much it can impact your chances. Wow.
of getting past those AI screeners.
Interesting.
Some formats, like PDFs, are more easily parsed by AI than others.
Okay.
Think of it like this.
Okay.
A PDF is like a well-organized library with clearly labeled shelves, while other formats might be more like a jumbled attic.
Oh, okay.
It takes the AI longer to sift through the clutter and find what it needs.
Oh, okay. So sticking to PDFs is a safe bet then?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay.
It ensures compatibility with most AI systems. Now, speaking of things that can trip up AI, let's talk about job titles and dates on your resume.
Gotcha. So consistency is key, right?
Absolutely. AI scans for consistency and red flags.
Okay.
Inconsistencies in job titles, dates, can make it look like you're hiding something.
Oh, wow.
So always use standard job titles.
Okay.
List dates consistently in that month-year format.
And avoid any unexplained gaps in your work history.
Got it.
Yeah.
So it's like a detective looking for clues. If something seems off,
right,
it raises a suspicion.
Precisely.
Okay.
And one way to address those concerns before they arise is to include a brief career summary at the top of your resume.
Right.
This can provide some context and highlight your key strengths for both AI and human reviewers. Think of it as your elevator pitch.
Okay.
A concise snapshot of who you are and what you bring to the table.
Okay. It sounds like we're learning how to play a strategic game here.
It could say that.
We're optimizing for AI, but ultimately there's a human on the other side of the screen, right?
Yeah.
Do we risk losing that personal touch?
It's a valid concern.
Yeah.
But the goal isn't to eliminate the human element. It's to ensure your application makes it past the initial AI screening.
Gotcha.
So that a human can actually see it.
Right.
And appreciate those qualities that make you unique.
Okay, so it's not about becoming robotic.
Exactly.
It's about using technology to our advantage.
Exactly. And while we're talking about technology and its impact, there's another interesting development in AI recruitment.
Oh, really?
That I think is worth discussing.
What is that?
The ability to assess DEI initiatives.
DEI?
Yeah, diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So are you saying that some AI systems can actually recognize?
It's still early days.
Okay.
But yeah, some systems are being trained to do just that.
Wow.
Which reflects the growing emphasis on creating more inclusive workplaces.
That's incredible.
It is pretty interesting.
So how does that work in practice?
Okay.
How can we showcase these types of experiences on our resumes?
There are several ways, for instance, highlighting volunteer work with underrepresented communities can demonstrate your commitment to social impact.
Makes sense.
Mentioning participation in DEI-focused training or workshops shows that you're actively engaged in learning and development in this area.
Gotcha.
And if you've led any initiatives to promote a more inclusive workplace. Describe those experiences with concrete examples and, of course, quantifiable results.
Oh, so AI isn't just changing how we present our skills and experience.
Right.
It's also prompting us to reflect on our values and contributions to a more equitable society.
That's a great observation.
It's pretty incredible.
It is.
It sounds like AI is reshaping the hiring landscape in ways we might not have even imagined a few years ago.
I know, right?
We've covered so much today.
We have.
From keywords, and formats, to DEI initiatives, and the human element.
It's a lot.
Before we wrap up this deep dive,
Sure.
Is there anything else our listeners should keep in mind?
Yeah, one crucial point is that AI is constantly evolving.
Oh, okay.
The algorithms used today might be different tomorrow.
Wow, that's true.
So it's essential to stay informed about the latest trends in AI-powered hiring.
Gotcha.
And adapt your resume accordingly.
So it's not a one-time fix, but an ongoing process of learning and adaptation.
Exactly.
That makes sense. We're constantly learning new things. Updating our skills and evolving as professionals.
It's true.
It seems like our resume should reflect that.
Absolutely. And that brings us back to something we touched on earlier. The importance of keeping your resume human. Even in this age of AI, your resume is ultimately a tool to connect with another human being.
That's true.
Yeah.
So how do we walk that tightrope?
Okay.
How do we balance the technical demands of AI optimization with the need to showcase our unique personalities and experiences.
It's all about being authentic.
Okay.
Let your passion and genuine enthusiasm shine through in your writing.
Right.
Tailor your resume to resonate with the company's culture and values. Don't be afraid to inject your personality into it, even within the structured format we've discussed. Remember, you're not just a collection of keywords and data points. You're a dynamic individual with a unique story to tell.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that even in this increasingly digital world, human connection is still at the heart of it all.
It really is.
Okay, I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
And I'm sure our listener is feeling much more equipped.
I hope so.
To tackle those AI gatekeepers and land that dream interview.
Good luck out there.
Before we sign off, is there any final piece of advice you'd like to share?
By understanding how AI works, you can craft a resume that's both machine readable and human engaging, giving you a competitive edge.
Makes sense.
In the job market. Remember, the human element is still paramount.
Okay.
Your skills, your experience, your passion, those are the things that truly make you stand out.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the world of AI and resumes.
It was fun.
Good luck with your job hunt.
Absolutely.
And remember, we're rooting for you.
We are, yeah. So it's not enough to just say you did something.
Right.
You got to prove it with numbers.
Okay.
Don't just say you're results-oriented. Show it.
Gotcha.
Use metrics, percentages, concrete results.
Right.
So instead of saying increased sales, say increased sales by 15% in 1 quarter.
Makes sense.
Or even better,
Hope so.
Increased sales by 15% in 1 quarter by implementing a new customer outreach strategy.
Wow.
The more specific you are, the more data you provide, the better.
So it's like the old saying, show, don't tell.
Exactly.
For the digital age.
Precisely.
Now, speaking of details, I've always wondered about this.
Okay.
Does the file format of your resume really matter that much?
You'd be surprised how much it can impact your chances.
Interesting.
Some formats, like PDFs, are way easier for AI to read than others.
Gotcha.
Think of it this way.
Okay.
A PDF is like a well-organized library with clearly labeled shelves.
Right.
But other formats are more like a jumbled attic.
Oh, okay.
It takes AI way longer to sift through the clutter and find what it needs.
Wow. Okay, so PDFs are the way to go then.
Yeah, for the most part. PDFs ensure the best compatibility with most AI systems.
Good to know. Now, speaking of things that can trip up AI, let's talk about job titles and dates on your resume.
Okay.
Consistency is key, right?
Absolutely. AI stands for consistency and red flags. Any inconsistencies in job titles or dates can make it look like you're hiding something.
Oh, wow.
Always use standard job titles, list dates consistently in that month-to-year format, and avoid any unexplained gaps in your work history.
So it's like a detective looking for clues.
Right.
If something seems off, it raises suspicion.
Precisely. One way to address those concerns before they even come up is to include a brief career summary at the top of your resume.
Okay.
This can provide context and highlight your key strengths for both the AI and any human reviewers.
Gotcha.
Think of it as your elevator pitch.
Right.
A concise snapshot of who you are and what you bring to the table.
Makes sense. So we're learning to play a strategic game here.
Yeah, you could say that.
We're optimizing for AI.
Right.
But there's a human on the other side of the screen.
Of course.
So do we risk losing that personal touch in the process?
It's a valid concern. The goal isn't to eliminate the human element.
Okay.
It's to make sure your application actually makes it past that initial AI screening.
Right.
So a human can see it and appreciate the qualities that make you unique.
So it's not about becoming robotic.
Exactly.
It's about using technology to our advantage.
Exactly.
Now, while we're on the topic of technology and its impact, there's another interesting development in AI recruitment that I think is worth discussing.
What's that?
The ability to assess DEI initiatives.
Oh, that's interesting.
So you're saying some AI systems...
It's still early days.
Okay.
But yeah, some systems are being trained to recognize and value DEI-related experiences.
That's pretty incredible.
It is.
How does that work in practice?
Well,
how can we showcase those experiences on our resumes?
There are a couple of ways.
Okay.
For example, Highlighting volunteer work with underrepresented communities
Right.
can demonstrate your commitment to social impact.
Makes sense.
Mentioning participation in DEI-focused training or workshops shows you're actively learning and developing in this area.
Yeah.
And if you've led initiatives to promote a more inclusive workplace, describe those experiences with concrete examples and, of course, quantifiable results.
So AI isn't just changing how we present our skills and experience.
Right.
It's also prompting us to reflect on our values and contributions to a more equitable society.
That's a great observation.
It's pretty amazing how AI is reshaping the hiring landscape.
Yeah, it really is.
In ways we couldn't have imagined a few years ago.
I know, right?
We've covered so much today.
It's a lot to take in.
From keywords and formatting to DEI initiatives and the human element. Before we wrap up,
sure.
Is there anything else our listeners should keep in mind?
Yeah, one crucial point to remember is that AI is constantly evolving.
That's true.
The algorithms they use today might be different tomorrow.
Right.
So it's essential to stay informed about the latest trends in AI-powered hiring and adapt your resume accordingly.
It's like we got to stay ahead of the curve.
Oh, yeah, keep learning and adapting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Our resume should reflect that too.
Absolutely. It goes back to what we talked about before, keeping your resume human.
Right. Even in the age of AI.
Yeah.
Your resume is ultimately a tool to connect with another person.
Exactly.
So how do we walk that tightrope? Balancing the technical demands of AI with showing our personality and experiences.
It's all about being authentic.
Okay.
Let your passion and enthusiasm come through in your writing.
Gotcha.
Tailor it to the company's culture. Don't be afraid to show your personality, even within that structure we've discussed.
Yeah.
Remember, you're not just keywords and data.
Right.
You're an individual with a story.
I love that.
Yeah.
Human connection's still at the heart of it all.
It really is.
Okay. I think we've covered a ton today.
Yeah, we have.
Our listeners probably feeling a lot more equipped.
I hope so.
To tackle those AI gatekeepers and land that dream interview.
Good luck out there, everyone.
Before we sign off, any final advice you'd like to share?
By understanding how AI works, you can craft a resume that both the machines and humans will love.
Right.
It'll give you a real edge in the job market.
Yeah.
But remember, the human element is still key.
Right.
Your skills, your experience, your passion.
Right.
Those are what make you stand out.
That's a great point.
Thank you.
And that brings us to the end of our deep dive.
It's been fun.
Into AI and resumes.
Yeah.
Good luck with the job hunt, everyone.
Good luck.
And remember, we're rooting for you.
We are.